Specific things, and the first thing he deals with is the freedom of believers from condemnation. Then he goes to talk about the privilege of God's children. Talks about the prospects and the things to be able to hope for in your tribulation, and the assistance and the spirit of prayer and the love of God. And then he finishes up talking about the final triumph through Christ. But in verse 37, he makes a statement that sounds almost oxymoronic in its nature. He says that we are more than conquerors. Now, that puzzled me because I'm trying to figure out, how can you be more than or greater than a conqueror? Because if you conquer something, Sonia, that means that you have overcome it. You have defeated it. It is behind you. So how can you be more than a conqueror? How can you do more than defeat something? Because if I win, right? I'm glad you asked. Because here's the thing. If you got two people, and in the middle of praise and worship, you got Kevin, come stand right here. You got Kevin standing right here. Come here, Hart. Come here, Hart. You got Hart standing right here, and they seem to look the same. They seem to both be doing fine, and they both lifting their hands. They both got bald heads too. Right? It's ironic. But doing praise and worship, they lifting their hands and they clapping their hands. See, here's the thing. The fact that Hart has a job and his family is together, maybe he's a conqueror because he's overcome his adversities. But Kevin got hell at his house, and his wife is about to leave him, and he ain't got no job. But the fact that he can still lift his hands makes him more than a conqueror. That makes him more than, because he can still open his mouth in the midst of his problems. Have you seen? That makes you more than. And so, when they were talking about the rhino, they said the rhino always is looking out for vultures. And the vultures don't come to eat at the flesh, but the vultures come to take his horn. The vultures don't come to wound him, but the vultures come to take his horn. See, it's illegal in some countries to sell the horns of rhinoceroses because they are extinct in some places. But I said, why is it that you come to take your horn? And they went on to say, because the horn is the place that the rhino makes its sound. And I got a revelation out of that. Is that when the enemy comes in like a flood, he wants to take your sound. Because if the enemy can get your praise, you can't open your mouth. So although you're walking through life and things seem to knock you down, if you still got a praise in your mouth, you can open up your mouth and say, Lion of Judah, you are the great I am. And when you get up from that and you walk a little further and the enemy knocks you down, you can still look up to heaven if you can open up your mouth and say, I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you, Jesus. And I love you more than anything. The devil wants to come to take your sound. The devil can take a lot of things, but he can't take my horn. The devil can take a lot of things, but he can't take my horn. And if I can borrow a line from Jigga, you know, Beyonce's boo. Yeah. He made a song one time, but I flipped it a little bit. I said, I got 99 problems, but a praise ain't one. I got 99 problems, but a praise ain't one of them. The devil, you can have a lot of things. You can have my money. You can have my house. You can have my job, but you can't take my horn. You can have all my stuff, but in the midst of my trouble, you can't take my horn.